I think we've got an action-packed session over here because if you look back at the previous conferences that we've had, we've not only been able to move the needle, we've also had more vendors participate as part of the working group, and which you'll see on display over here as part of the demonstrations. I think so. I'm going to talk very briefly in terms of setting the stage for how these demos came about. We met as a working group. We must have had about five or so sessions. I think it took us about 2 sessions to kind of decide on, hey, what the overarching themes would be. And I think in keeping in spirit with our group in general, as in ONUG, there were 4 themes that emerged. The first one was around network connectivity, and that was more around supporting a hybrid WAN, data center, virtual data centers, and then perhaps an instance of cloud connectivity as well, right? As part of the wide area network. The second theme was around security, and I believe with security, the focus over there was more on service chaining as it applied to not just efficiently transmitting bits and bytes from a remote site, but then also what you do once you reach your service destination, which is the data center. So we thought that we could include components from a service chaining perspective that gave visibility into, well, how would this work end to end? You bring in the SD-WAN solution, but then what service elements do you chain out at the data center? So that was the second overarching theme. The third was application services, and that had to do more with policy performance and layer 4, layer 7 services, right? The fourth category was on service cloud and service provider, and that was so that enterprises looking to connect up to cloud services would be able to do that while still taking advantage of what SD-WAN had to offer. So those were the 4 use categories which you'll see be demoed in different formats by each of the vendor participating. I think we had about a dozen vendors, and so we actually had to split this out across 2 days. So we're having the first session here today, just about 45 minutes. At this session today, we've got Cisco and VeloCloud both jointly presenting their demo. After them would be Glue Networks, followed by Silver Peak, Telari, and then Viptela. Before I yield to the fellow working group participants from each of these companies, I just want to say that there's a prize being awarded as well, and you in the audience that are part of the enterprise IT customers will get to vote on who you consider to be the best at both from a product standpoint as well as from a presentation standpoint. Voting will begin immediately after the sessions at 3 p.m. Which is 3 p.m. today, and they will end at 3 p.m. tomorrow, right? But bear in mind that I think before you cast your vote, I think make certain, I highly recommend you to actually go visit each of these company booths to get a better understanding of what their product is, what the company is about, because they may not have enough time on stage over here to be able to actually present the options, right? I think it's certainly not possible to have a demo that provides for adequate detail in each of the 4 themes. So please, by all means, make certain that before you cast your vote, you actually take time to visit the vendor booths. There's some weighting that I want to make you aware of as part of the voting. I think the vendors that will do just a single vendor proof of concept will have a weight of 1, and multi-vendor POC demos that will be done will have a weighting of 1.2. And if you're having any issues with the voting, please see any member of the ONUG team over here. They should be able to help you out.